Okay class, today we're going to be talking about backgrounds, because honestly, without them, cartoons would end up being rather barren and boring. You see this? This is barren and boring. But don't worry, because there is something we can do to make it more interesting. We're going to paint a background on it. Now, can anyone in this room tell me why backgrounds are so important? No? Well, here we go. Backgrounds are the canvases needed for basically all animations and cartoons. The pieces are the setting and a part of all of our favourite stories. Backgrounds can always vary in style and type. Backgrounds can be painted, sculpted, and even filmed. Each different type and style elicits a different feeling and reaction in the viewer. Good background artists and directors, of course, know this, and they use it to their benefit in their stories. Different artists will also know how to use different colours and art styles and techniques to enhance their work. And now, having said all of that, I'm going to move on and say that for different artists and directors, they have an understanding of the fact that backgrounds often have to be more than just their canvases. Truly brilliant backgrounds are something that tell their own little stories. And now to prove this point, I want to take a look at two backgrounds from a series that I really think illustrates my point quite well. The Owl House is a brilliant series that is great fun and fantastically creative. The show is full of absolutely great backgrounds. Pretty much every background in the show does exactly what a good background should. But what does a good background do, I hear you ask? Well, here's the answer. Backgrounds draw the audience's attention. They inspire feelings in the audience and tell their own little stories. Small details build on aspects of character and world building. Good backgrounds aren't just something you drop a character on and then have a scene play out in. No. Good backgrounds are something that actively add to whatever is happening on screen. Good backgrounds are written into the script to provide more detail and clarity to the character and stories being portrayed. Now, to prove my point, I think we should take a look at our first example. This is from The Owl House, and it is one of the first times the show depicts a large city from the demon realm. This background totally manages to truly convey the complete and utter strangeness of the demon realm that Luce now finds herself in. And honestly, you can just look around and see all the small details and little stories that add to the awe of this new setting. The city is massive, and different parts of the world reach up into the sky, totally eclipsing Luce herself, who is so small in comparison to everything around her. In this setting, you really get something completely other and disassociated from our own world. The demon realm is something that hasn't been seen anywhere else. It's something where massive bones reach out of the ground like mountains, and everything is perched on top the dead body of an old titan. This background is one that really establishes a lot of the show's initial world building ideas, but it also adds to a lot of different character ideas. Luce herself isn't cowering away in this scene. She's standing on the edge, willing to look out at this new city in front of her. And different parts of this city are also telling a story about just as to what Luce might find in this new realm. Lastly, something else I want to touch on quickly about this background is its use of colour. The scene has a lot of reds and tans used to build out the setting, with a lot of the buildings being those sorts of colours. But what this scene also manages to do truly well is make Luce stand out amongst everything else in front of her, which is really quite difficult to do when you remember that there is a dragon floating around in front of her. Luce has a lot of blue and purple in her shirt and hoodie and shorts, and these help her to stand out against the more reddish and tan colours of the city in front of her. And the show's fantastic design ideas don't end here. The show goes on throughout its entire run to give us more backgrounds like this that add to the style of the show and develop its ideas. But of course, there's one more background I want to take a look at from this show, as I think it does a lot of the same ideas that we've spoken about already, but does them in even better ways, I believe. This is my second example from the show, and I'm sure that a lot of people are going to instantly recognize the episode I've taken it from. The episode is, of course, Hollow Mind. This background, of course, as I said earlier, does a lot of the great stuff that the show's previous background did. But here, this background is something very different from the last setting. It's something darker and more unsettling. The brightest colours in this background are, of course, the masks of the Golden Guard. And a lot of the darker colours in this background stand in contrast to these masks that have been broken and left to wither away, surrounded by the bones of those who wore them. This background tells us the history of the Golden Guards and informs the audience as to just how far Emperor Belos is willing to go to achieve his evil goals. Again, the background is being more than just a set piece or a place for the characters to act out the story. Instead, the background is actively informing the story and the characters in it. This show and many other shows truly understand the importance of their background art and what needs to be done by directors and background artists to truly create and properly utilize their great backgrounds. With all that said, I'm going to end this video by saying what I think the most important part of a background is. And I think that is the way backgrounds manage the audience's focus. And basically what that means is, how much should the background artist attempt to weigh up using their backgrounds to tell stories, inform characters, develop settings, and stage characters. And what this means is that you should try to find a good balance of all of these ideas. Once you do that, you properly inform the audience's focus in a scene, and properly develop your own show. I love background art. It's part of the animation pipeline and development process that really interests me. And really, I can't say why exactly, because there's just so much that can be done with background art. And that is the bell. Class is now over, and if anybody needs me, I will be in my office with a bottle of vodka, some Gravity Falls episodes, and a drawing tablet. Please, class, don't forget to take your homework on the way out, like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.